Right now, we are all somewhere along the path of our own game of life. We're spinning the wheel and praying that now or in the future we'll land a good job, buy a nice house, support our families. But at the heart of it all, a good primary education is crucial to gathering those coveted life tiles along the way and retiring at millionaire estates at the end of the game. Natural education better fosters students who are more passionate, independent, and prepared for the future than traditional education. Students who subscribe to a natural, more progressive style of education relinquish their binds to structure and rules and are able to organically pursue their passions. In traditional education, students learn to be docile and unoriginal, conforming to fit into a society whose standard of success is money and power. Alfie Kahn, American author on education, parenting, and human behavior, states in his essay, Progressive Education, that conventional methods such as homework, tests, and grades prove difficult to justify for anyone who is serious about promoting long-term dispositions, as they force students to form these short-term habits, like memorizing, and thus acquire isolated skills. Meanwhile, as Kahn asserts, progressive styles encourage students to design curriculum, formulate questions, seek out answers, think through possibilities, and evaluate how successful they and their teachers have been. As this active motivation and participation in the whole educative process lends itself to students constructing their own ideas instead of passively absorbing information. Beyond just the style of teaching, natural education allows students to choose what they want to study and follow it to its end without having to worry about a grade. This is because, as asserted by Independent Schools, a magazine of the National Association of Independent Schools, progressive schools assessments are usually benchmarked and progress-oriented, rather than a set curriculum. This pursuit of passion is aided by natural education's cultivation of individuality. Instruction and knowledge in progressive schools are centered around the needs of the individual, both intellectually and emotionally, and how one can contribute as part of the whole community. As Ralph Waldo Emerson said in his essay, Education, to follow traditional education is to sacrifice the genius of the pupil, the unknown possibilities of his nature to a neat and safe uniformity. In progressive schools, educators help students break out of this uniformity and become not just good learners, but also good people. School isn't just about academics, and growth isn't limited to just verbal and mathematical proficiencies. Students learn how to be, not just how to do. Instead of following a curriculum that encourages everyone to meet the same standards, naturally educated students are able to express themselves individually and cultivate these skills as part of a whole community. This individualized contribution prepares students to take initiative and collaborate, skills that are necessary in the workforce. The skills that naturally educated students learn translate most effectively into future success. These students are planners, these students are active participants, these students are problem solvers, all of which are crucial parts of collaboration, collaboration being an overarching necessity in any aspect of life. As also voiced by Emerson regarding the state of traditionally educated students, he is in danger of becoming merely devout and wearisome through the monotony of his thought. The formulaic nature of traditional education actually impedes students, as it gives them a false sense of self-worth based off of numerical ratings and teaches motivation to stem from the fear of failure instead of the actual desire to learn. Learning from experience and not just textbooks best prepares students to adapt to our changing world. Instead of grasping for links between static materials and aims in a world that is anything but, naturally educated students are able to apply their skills directly without that disconnect. So, in the game of life, you can take two paths. One is risky and one is safe. Which one would you take? One that prepares you for a certain model that isn't guaranteed to fit the state of our world, or one that teaches you to tackle any situation, familiar or foreign, teaches you to form your own ideas and pursue them without fear, teaches you to be one part that contributes individually yet equally as part of a whole. I know my choice. Thank you.